Exclusive coverage this morning of Operation Epic Fury. A veteran, he weighs in, and Gordon Chang is here with us this morning. That's all coming up here on the show. Stick around for that. But first, big election results are rolling in from three key states. Primary elections in Texas, North Carolina, and Arkansas, they're shaping up to have major implications for the midterm season, with tight races and high-stake nominations dominating the headlines. We've got the latest from the polls. Let's start in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott has won the Republican primary. Abbott with the endorsement from President Trump. Also winning their Republican primary, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Texas House Speaker Dustin Burrows also winning all three with an endorsement from the president. But big losses as well. Incumbent U.S. Representative Dan Crenshaw, who has represented Texas's 2nd congressional district since 2019, has lost to Republican challenger Steve Toth in the GOP primary. But the biggest headline of the night from Texas comes from the Democratic side. Former Representative Jasmine Crockett lost her primary for Senate. As early numbers started coming in and she was behind, Jasmine already started to claim there was cheating involved.
All Red has already stated, we encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it. So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote. Stand in line, wait in line.
That was before the official results. She then went to her watch party and addressed the crowd. Jasmine not having a good night last night. She's now done in Congress, and she'll have to look for another career. Now to Arkansas. Governor Sarah Huckabee has won her primary with an endorsement from President Trump. And in North Carolina, a high-profile race for Senate, Republican Michael Whatley won his primary. All big races as these winners now get ready for November. Now to our team coverage of Operation Epic Fury. Names of 4 soldiers killed in action have now been released. These are the brave men and women who lost their lives. Sergeant First Class Nicole Armour of Minnesota, Sergeant First Class Noah Tietjen of Nebraska, Sergeant Declan Cody of Iowa, and Captain Cody Cork of Florida. The names of the other 2 soldiers killed have not yet been released. We pray for our American heroes and we thank them for our service. There has been a lot of information coming out of Iran over the past 5 days. It can get jumbled as you hear information from different sources and outlets. A lot going on in the Middle East. U.S. CENTCOM Commander Brad Cooper, he now breaks down the facts for us. He says 50,000 troops, 200 fighter jets, 2 aircraft carriers, and multiple bombers are right now involved in Operation Epic Fury.
By order of the President of the United States and the Secretary of War, our military in the Middle East is undertaking an unprecedented operation to eliminate Iran's ability to threaten Americans, as they've been doing for nearly half a century. Having spent more than 36 years in the military, I could not be prouder of America's sons and daughters in uniform who are answering the call. More than 50,000 troops, 200 fighters, 2 aircraft carriers, and bombers from the United States are participating in this operation, and more capability is on the way. These forces bring a massive amount of firepower, representing the largest buildup by the U.S. in the Middle East in a generation. In the opening hours of Operation Epic Fury, U.S. Central Command forces, together with Israel, delivered overwhelming and unprecedented strikes into Iran. Many of you may remember the shock and awe strikes of 2003. The first 24 hours of this operation were nearly double the scale, and we continue with 24/7 strikes into Iran from seabed to space and cyberspace. Now, we're less than 100 hours into this operation, and we've already struck nearly 2,000 targets with more than 2,000 munitions. We have severely degraded Iran's air defenses and destroyed hundreds of Iran's ballistic missiles, launchers, and drones. And in simple terms, we're focused on shooting all the things that can shoot at us. Our B-2 bombers and B-1 bombers have executed uncontested surgical strikes against multiple missile facilities deep inside Iran. And then just last night, a B-52 bomber force struck ballistic missile and command and control posts. We are also sinking the Iranian Navy, the entire Navy. Thus far, we've destroyed 17 Iranian ships, including the most operational Iranian submarine that now has a hole in its side. For decades, the Iranian regime has harassed international shipping. Today, there's not a single Iranian ship underway in the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, or Gulf of Oman, and we will not stop. We will continue to conduct dynamic targeting operations. We're hunting Iran's last remaining mobile ballistic missile launchers to eliminate what I would characterize as their lingering launch capability. Now, in retaliation, the Iranian regime has launched over 500 ballistic missiles and over 2,000 drones. To be clear, Iran is indiscriminately targeting civilians as they launch these missiles and drones. You've seen it on TV. The evidence is crystal clear and overwhelming. Having said this, we are seeing Iran's ability to hit us and our partners is declining, while our combat power, on the other hand, is building. And my overall operational assessment is that we are ahead of our game plan. Along the way, every single branch of our military is achieving unprecedented success. I'll talk about just a few of them. Our naval forces have deployed multiple waves of cruise missiles, obliterating Iranian command and control and air defense capabilities. From 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, we're squeezing Iran from the sea and have them backed into their own ports. U.S. air forces are doing what they do best, executing a high volume of airstrikes right into Iran. Operationally, the 2 most powerful air forces in the world, the U.S. and Israel, are dominating the skies of the world's largest state sponsor of terror. Our U.S. Army soldiers are defending ourselves and our partners, and in a historic first, the U.S. Army fired long-range precision strike missiles called PRISMs in combat, providing an unrivaled deep strike capability. Also for the first time, U.S. Central Command's drone task force, called Task Force Scorpion Strike, launched countless one-way attack drones, achieving massive effects. I'd like to point out these drones were originally an Iranian design. We took them back to America, made them better, and fired them right back at Iran. I just could not be prouder of our men and women in uniform, leveraging innovation to create dilemmas for the enemy. There is no adversary too determined, no mission too difficult for the great soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians, and Coast Guardsmen that make up the most powerful military the world has ever seen. Our military objectives are crystal clear, and our people are executing an immensely complex and historic mission with relentless lethality, conviction, and professionalism. And we've just begun. But I have the utmost confidence that we, alongside our partners, will absolutely achieve our military objectives. To all our warriors, Godspeed. Thanks so much.
And right now, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, is holding a press conference at the Pentagon. Our Heather Mullins is there, and we'll have more coverage from that later on in the day. More stats for you. The U.S. has now sunk over 17 ships and has hit over 2,000 Iranian targets. We bring in now veteran Colonel Josh McConkey. Colonel, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. You served in the Middle East, dangerous hotspots. From your experience, what's the tone like right now for our military there in the Middle East?
So right now, that elevated threat level from the Iranian response, certainly has everyone on edge. But when you're in that theater, you're prepared for that at all times. So Iran has been targeting Americans for decades. When I was there, I carried body bags of American heroes that were injured and killed by Iranian IEDs, insurgents trained by Iranians. And I was there during the shoot down of 8 aircraft in a 2-week span. And that was all with Iranian technology and acoustic software. So they've been targeting Americans for a very long time. Very long time.
And I'm glad you said that, Colonel, because I think Americans really need to understand that they are a danger and a threat to America. And the purpose of this is to get rid of any nuclear weapons that they have possibly had and any threats that they have to America and other countries as well.
Yeah, that threat cannot be overstated. When you see individuals like their leadership, they woke up every single morning and asked themselves, how can I kill more Americans and how can we get a nuclear weapon? That just cannot happen. Under any circumstance, can you allow that type of regime to have a nuclear weapon? And the president stepped up and did the right thing and used the right amount of force. And right now we are just beating them into the ground so that there is absolutely no chance of that ever happening.
And so, the president, Colonel, he has said multiple times over the years, he has talked about Iran and the threats that they pose to America. And so, this regime for 47 years has been a threat. And he has said it over and over and over again. Well, a couple of weeks ago, he came out and said, I'm giving them a 10-day notice to come to the bargaining table. He sent Witkoff. He sent Kushner to try to bargain with the Iranian regime, and they just wouldn't do it. So that's when he gave the 10-day notice and then went in and struck with Israel. Well, the Democrats are saying, well, he should have come to Congress, or we didn't know this was happening. They were well aware, in my opinion, that this was going to take place.
Now, they're just playing politics. Every president in their administration has used this type of tool in their arsenal. So there's lots of diplomatic tools, informational, military tools, and economic tools that they use. And he exhausted every single effort. So in large contrast to the Biden administration, which just it's like a child. Oh, you better not do that. Oh, don't do that. Hey, we're going to give you $6 billion if you promise not to. It was an absolute farce. And so President Trump came in and exhausted every resource. He offered them like medical grade uranium, just for their country for free of cost. And they really exhausted every diplomatic means possible to try to resolve this and get them to come to the table. And they just had no interest. And so he leveraged that military tool and, we see the results.
We're looking at the results now. We have plenty of video coming in over the last 5 days over the, Middle East of the bombings going on. Talk about our military. The best in the world, always has been, but it's a different military under President Trump than it was under the Biden administration. We don't see men in dresses on the front lines, but these men and women are brave soldiers who are the best of the best in the world. President Trump has said that, there's more to come. He might escalate this. What does he mean by that? Like, what are our capabilities as a military to go in and end this regime, which they have done, but there's also some backups. Colonel, we saw just in the last couple of days that the regime, the second in command, were meeting and they were blown up as well. So they keep getting further and further down the line. But when President Trump says, we haven't even played all of our cards yet, just how powerful is our military? What have we not seen yet?
Well, first, you did reference some of the differences than the past 4 years. And under this administration, that focus is again on just lethality. And I've been in for 24 years, I've served in combat. And when you have to do that mission, when you execute that, I mean, it's terrible. And we don't want to do that. We would have loved the diplomatic, part of that to have worked, but it just didn't. And so this is peace through strength. We are the only military on planet Earth that can execute this level and to this many, simultaneous missions. When you saw the bombing of the nuclear facility, last month, nobody else can do that. Like under the cover of darkness, they didn't even know we were there until they were hit, and they were already halfway around the world. So, it's just it puts the world on notice. When you see all these bad actors in China and Russia and Iran, that is peace through strength. It doesn't do any good to just talk and yell and threaten and give $6 billion to Iran. I mean, that's what they used to fund what they've done over the past like 3 to 4 years. So this was big.
It really is. And so, from your perspective, you see this going on, you've been there. What's it like for you? I want to get more of a military perspective today, and you're the perfect person for that because we love our men and women in uniform. And so, always supportive of you. What's going through their minds? Like what, you had already said they're trained for this. This is what they do. They go in and they act. And so, but at the same time, they have family at home that they think about every day
I
and all
know.
night before they lay their heads on their pillows before they go to bed at night. What's it like for them? What's the mood like for our military men and women in the Middle East?
Well, having been there, my thoughts and prayers are with them and their family. They're doing amazing things, and the world needs you. You are defending America. I remember my first time when I landed in a combat theater. So we took a C-130 in from Kuwait, and we landed right there in Baghdad, well, in Anaconda, Camp Anaconda, LSA Anaconda initially. And within minutes of being in theater, there was a mortar attack. So it's just like this instant just change. And I know it took me 2 weeks to adjust, just mentally to putting yourself in harm's way. You believe in what you're doing. You're very well trained. I was there as a medical officer flying medevac, was a flight surgeon, taking care of men and women that are taking bullets for this country. But when you put yourself in that situation for the first time, it's scary. And I know for me personally, I never would have survived without my faith. So Jim Higgins, our chaplain, was just an amazing individual and helped out everyone in strong faith, family, and your belief in that mission and the men and women around you allow you to do your job. But it's certainly very scary.
Yeah, and always depend on your faith and lean to God in times like this. The national security risk here on our homeland, elevated, obviously, a lot more security around the president, Washington, D.C., different places all over the country. I want to show these clips and then get your reaction. Our Allison Steinberg is the Capitol correspondent for LINDELLTV. She asked Democrats and Republicans alike about sleeper cells in our country. The first one I want to show you is from Republican Burchett. Listen to his reaction.
Have intelligence officials briefed Congress at all on the possibility of Iranian sleeper cells here in America? Should U.S. citizens be concerned about retaliation within the U.S.?
I haven't personally, but I've been told by some. So, yeah, I mean, we had millions of people come over the border during the Biden administration that we don't know where they are. And, yeah, I'm worried about that. And I have been worried about that.
Okay, so, Colonel, that was the Republican response. And that is basically what the Republicans are saying. We know there are sleeper cells. But then you go to the Democratic side. She asked Blumenthal the same question. Take a listen to his response.
In light of potential sleeper cells now here in the U.S. and the necessity to ensure the safety of American citizens, can you just explain how continuing to keep DHS shut down and unfunded is beneficial?
Sleeper cells? I'm not sure I understood the question.
In light of the Iran attack, sleeper cells, people who are let in under Biden, the millions of aliens let in, can you explain, how the American people aren't protected when DHS is still shut down?
Well, I haven't seen evidence of sleeper cells, and certainly no evidence that sleeper cells are related to recent immigrants under the Biden administration or the Trump administration. There certainly is a need for vigilance about our national security, no question, in light of what is happening in the Middle East. And we have to be watchful, not overly fearful. There needs to be investigation by the FBI. We have a domestic terrorism unit there, as well as in the Department of Justice. And in the Department of Homeland Security, the Homeland Security Investigations Unit. And unfortunately, reports are that resources devoted to those units have been turned instead to immigration issues. So I would say the answer to your question is that the abundant resources already allocated to DHS should be focused on our national security and investigation of any possible threats.
Colonel, what's your reaction? The Democrats saying sleeper cells. What's that? We haven't had any sleeper cells. We don't have those here. No possible way.
This is that perfect example of the Democrats playing politics, but they're playing with American lives. So it's no secret. Now, I do emergency management now, and I certainly can't talk about anything classified, but it is a fact that at least over 10 million, upwards of 15 to 20 million people came across a completely unsecured border intentionally. They allowed that. They set up their policies to allow that. And China knew that, Russia knew that, Iran knew that. One of the largest embassies for Iran is in Mexico. Now, people can speculate on why that is, but there are known hundreds of terror watch list individuals that came across that unsecured border that are here in the United States. There are sleeper agents here, and that's a fact. It's very scary. I know the FBI tracks that, and we do our best, but they're gambling with people's lives, and then you shut down Department of Homeland Security during this type of activity and action. I think it's criminal, and they're gambling with American lives.
Yeah, and we just saw just hours after Iran was struck, Colonel, Austin, Texas. We had a man going to 6th Street, which is a very popular hangout spot in Austin, well known, filled with bars and restaurants, and he was wearing an Allah shirt, sweatshirt, as you see there, armed, killed several people there, having an evening out with friends and family. This was just hours afterwards. And so this is being investigated by the FBI as an act of terrorism. So these sleeper cells are in our country, in our neighborhood, no matter if you're in a red state, a blue state, red city, blue city, it doesn't matter. They're everywhere. And if the people at home watching think for 1 second they're not in your neighborhood, think again. Millions and millions and millions of people were let in under the Biden administration. They were coming in from the droves. And so it's really disgusting to see these Democrats go to the podium and basically question our reporters who are asking them about these sleeper cells. How many of these military aged men, these middle-aged men have come into our country and are just waiting for the perfect time to attack?
Yeah, it's certainly very disingenuous on their part to deny that that even exists because it's a fact. They clearly do. Now, you certainly don't want people to be paranoid, but you do have to be very wary of your situations and your surroundings. I mean, I personally have a concealed weapons permit, and when it's safe to do so, and I feel that those threat levels are there, I certainly am always watchful. I'm there to protect my family, and it's when you see the video of those shootings, because it was on social media, for Austin, it breaks your heart. I'm an emergency physician. I deal with this type of violence on a daily basis, and I save as many lives as I can. And when you deal with that aftermath, and you're the one that has to walk into that family room, and you have to talk with those family members when people die, it breaks your heart. And these are just bad policies from the previous administration that are being fixed now, clearly. And this is why we address that. This is like illegal immigration and border security is national security. That's a fact.
Yes, it is a fact. Let's talk about you. We appreciate all of your service overseas and everything that you do here at home as well. But you have a race coming up, not this year, but we're already getting prepared for a big race for you. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so in 2028, we are running to bring purpose-driven leadership back to North Carolina. 2024, during the governors and lieutenant governor races, we unfortunately lost. We lost governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, the secretary of state. And right now, we need that purpose-driven leadership in North Carolina. I call them the three amigos. You've got Roy Cooper, Josh Stein, and Rachel Hunt. Those three individuals were very instrumental in shutting down schools, churches, and communities. And it led to a mental health crisis in our kids that I deal with every day as an emergency doctor. I see the anxiety, the depression, and the suicide. And so we need that purpose driven leadership. I'm stepping up to take back the lieutenant governor. We're going to build back the bench here in North Carolina. Engaged. We were involved out in Western North Carolina, helping rebuild there with Samaritan's Purse, which is a fantastic faith-based organization. Got to work with Edward Graham there. And, we're trying to make a difference.
Wonderful. I mean, your story keeps getting better and better. As we start to wrap up here, any final words for our military? You have been there, you have served on the front lines, you have seen the best of the best, and you've seen the worst of the worst. So as we are well underway in Operation Epic Fury, what are your final thoughts and words of advice to our brave men and women on the front lines and even their family members who are back here in America just praying for the best?
So it's a privilege to serve with you. I still wear the uniform in the reserves. What you're doing matters. What you're doing makes a difference. And for your family out there, history has called on you. You are changing the world. You are protecting America, and America is safer because of what you're doing every single day, putting on that uniform. Stay safe. God bless. And our thoughts and prayers are with all of you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Colonel, thank you so much for being here with us today. Love your input. Come back and see us soon. We'd love to have you back on.
Thank you very much. God bless.
When we come back, continuing coverage of Operation Epic Fury, Gordon Chang joins the show with his take on Iran and China's role. Don't miss that interview. That's next.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. You need ivermectin, antibiotics, or methylene blue, you name it, they've got it. They make it simple. You fill out a short online form, a licensed doctor reviews it, and your meds ship fast right to your front door. If you want to be prepared and have your medications on hand, this is your new pharmacy. Visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10 saves you even more. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code Lindell10. If you want to drop extra pounds, boost energy levels, and reduce swelling in your legs and feet, then this message is for you. Pure Health Research is on a mission to make America healthy again. And two of their best-selling health supplements are leading the way. First is Liver Health Formula. Over 100 million Americans have a sluggish liver that's riddled with fatty deposits. This can kill your metabolism, pile on the pounds, and make you feel tired. Liver Health Formula takes care of that. It supports thriving liver health with special nutrients like artichoke extract and milk thistle. This is one of the easiest ways to slim down and revitalize your energy levels. Next is lymph system support. If you struggle with fluid buildup or swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, this is for you. The natural ingredients in lymph system support help gently flush away extra fluid and toxins out of your body. And right now, for a limited time, you get 35% off Liver Health Formula and Lymph System Support, along with 50 plus other health supplements that Pure Health Research has to offer. So head over to purehealthresearch.com and use promo code Lindell at checkout. That's purehealthresearch.com, promo code Lindell to save 35% on your order today.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
Operation Epic Fury is reshaping the balance of power in the Middle East, but the ripple effects could extend far beyond the region. One country we're watching very closely this morning, China. Beijing has deep economic and strategic ties to Iran, and we are happy to have with us today Gordon Chang, China expert and foreign policy analyst. Gordon, thank you so much for being here with us today. You recently posted that America is fighting China and Russia in Iran. Tell us about the bigger picture, what we are seeing right now.
The bigger picture, Vanessa, is that you have Iran would not be able to have assaulted Israel, for instance, on October 7th, wouldn't be able to support its terrorist proxies if it did not have Beijing's backing. So, for instance, Beijing last year took 87.2% of Iran's exports of crude oil. There's a diplomatic and propaganda support, plus also weapons. Iran's weapons are Chinese weapons. Iran has a lot of Chinese weapons, and so do Iran's terrorist proxies. Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthi militia all have large quantities of stuff supplied by Beijing. So really what we should be seeing is Iran as a proxy of the Chinese who are seeking to disrupt the world.
Yeah, you mentioned oil. China exports a significant amount of oil from the Middle East. Supply lines could be disrupted. Tell us more about that.
China gets about 45%, maybe 50% of its imported oil through the Strait of Hormuz. And right now that strait is closed. President Trump is working to open it up by providing insurance and also, of course, the military support of getting the Iranian Navy out of the way, plus taking down Iran's missiles. But until that strait is open, China is going to have a severe supply disruption. This is also important because our allies in the region, South Korea, Japan, our great friend Taiwan, they also depend on oil out of that strait. And of course, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, countries in the region that are exporters, they need to get their products out through the strait. So this has now become a critical matter.
It is, and the Strait of Hormuz, I'm glad you brought that up because as it remains unstable maybe 20% of the world's oil runs through that strait. So it's a very important body of water there. Could China step in to protect its interests with this strait shut down?
Not really. Although China has more ships than we do, they have 395 major vessels. We only have 296. We nonetheless have the Navy that can keep the strait open, and China really can't project force. And that's for a lot of reasons, Vanessa, not just ship count. But right now, the Chinese, they're not a superpower. We learned that on January 3 when Trump took out Venezuela, another Chinese proxy. The Chinese talk big beforehand. They do nothing afterwards. We saw that pattern again with Iran. They're not being able to help Cuba, another one of their friends. So there's only one superpower in the world, and it's the one where President Trump sits from the Oval Office and directs it. So it's us. It's not China. It's not Russia. We are the ones that can determine our own fate, the only ones that can determine our own fate. And we're the only ones that really can affect outcomes around the world when we are determined.
You're absolutely right. Venezuela, Cuba, Iran becoming weakened in these strikes. This is a loss for China, like you mentioned. They talk a lot of talk, like you said, but the big winner here is the United States of America. With Beijing, how invested is Beijing in the survival of the Iranian regime?
It's invested for a number of reasons, and one of the other ones is that the Iranians owe the Chinese a lot of money. Also, there are a lot of Chinese investments in Iran. There was, in 2021, the announcement of that strategic partnership. It's supposed to be $400 billion of investment over 25 years. The Chinese haven't put as much money into Iran as the Iranians would like, but nonetheless, there's a lot of Chinese cash there, and Iran has been executing Chinese foreign policy. So very much Iran is a instrument of Beijing.
Gordon, you have been warning us about China for a very long time. I want to bring up one of your posts now where you said this, and I think this is very important. Many say it's not America first to hit Iran. I think it's because taking down an enemy of America makes us all safer. Enemies are coming after us, whether we care to acknowledge that or not. I'm so glad you put out this post because there's a lot of Democrats out there and rhinos out there as well, social media influencers who are turning on this administration for Operation Epic Fury. But you have made it very clear to say, yes, it is America first, because they are going to attack America if we don't attack them first.
We know that, Vanessa, because go back a couple years, you have Iranian operatives in the United States. They tried to assassinate President Trump. They tried to assassinate former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and other former Trump State Department officials. And this was at a time of calm. We know that the Iranians took down the Aliquippa, Pennsylvania water system in 2023. And at the end of December of last year, the Iranian president said publicly that his country was in a state of war with the United States. We know that Iran was trying to reconstitute its nuclear weapons program. We know that they had substantial amounts of 60% enriched uranium, which is not enough for a bomb, but it's very close. Plus, we also know they have the components for what the North Koreans call their Hwasong-15 missile. That's a ICBM that could hit every square inch of the United States. So we know the Chinese were supplying a lot of equipment, military equipment, to the Iranians in the last 5-6 weeks. So this was imminent. President Trump was right to hit Iran. And I think the critics are just being partisan for the most part, or they are so ideological in the case of libertarian Republicans that they cannot see the national security interests of the United States. You know, people don't have to agree with Trump on everything. But when he defends the interests of our country, when he defends every American citizen, I believe there's an obligation to line up behind the president. We need to have politics stop at the water's edge.
You're right. And I back the president 100%, especially, you know, now in this time. The bottom line, Gordon, I want to ask you this. Does this conflict bring the world closer in the end? I know we're seeing this right now, and it may get worse before it gets better, but do you see that the world will become closer because of this operation?
Oh, I think it already has, Vanessa. We have seen our European allies who've been carping a lot recently have now started to coalesce behind President Trump. This was symbolized by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who went to Beijing, had very quote-unquote intense conversations with Xi Jinping, and then afterwards he shows up in the Oval Office. Merz is publicly talking about how the Atlantic Alliance needs to coalesce behind the United States. We see our allies and friends in East Asia supporting the U.S. This is very, very good, a very, very good development for us, not only with regard to Iran, but around the world. We see the countries coming in supporting President Trump.
I invite everyone to follow your X account, Gordon, because you are posting there many times a day, keeping us updated and informed, very knowledgeable of what's going on with Operation Epic Fury and how it affects America and our world. And we appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming on today and giving us your expertise of what's actually going on and how this affects not only.
Before I recognize the ranking member, it's my understanding, Mr. Biggs, you seek recognition.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have some uses. Here you go. Biden clemency for convicted fraudsters met with outrage. Next one. Biden's clemency and pardon list includes former elected officials. Next one. The drug dealers, thieves, and gang leaders granted clemency by Joe Biden. Next one. North Dakota judge blasts Biden for setting fraudsters free. Next one. Victims shocked after Biden grants clemency to kids for cash. Next one, who has Joe Biden pardoned? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair now recognizes Ranking Member Garcia from California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to thank, of course, our witnesses again for being here. Now, of course, over the past 2 months, countless brave Minnesotans have shared their stories of heartbreak and violence and terror, not just with us in this committee, but with folks across the country. Peaceful protesters are being shot in the streets. Children have been snatched from their schools. People dragged from their cars and tackled at work. And we know that parents, of course, have been missing work and children have been missing school. Now, Reverend Tolgard, I want the country to really understand the effects on kids. Are you seeing families who can't go
It's live right now. The feed froze up on us. But again, the governor and the attorney general are testifying today. I'm looking at Walt right now sitting at the table as they start answering some questions. We do have a crew there inside, and we will have updates for you all throughout the day. So make sure you're watching LINDELLTV.com and also tuned into the Lindell TV app on the very latest of what's going on right there. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, a look at the markets and your news to go. Stay with us.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Are you taking advantage of President Trump's golden age? Or what if I told you you can just sit back and earn money as President Trump continues to repair our economy and make America energy independent again? I'm talking about oil royalty checks. With the help of the Oxford Club, thousands of Americans have unlocked this secret hack that has put money back in hard-working American pockets. Financial expert and Lindell TV supporter Mark Litchenfield has showed me how. It's a way to profit from America's energy production that's been working quietly for decades, even when oil companies were struggling. So go to LindellOilBoom.com to find out how this all works and why it's relevant right now. That's LindellOilBoom.com. With everybody talking about making America healthy again, I thought today'd be a great day to talk to all my fellow patriots about the importance of making your homes healthy again. Well, we have proudly partnered with AirWaterHealing.com and their revolutionary whole home air purification system. The V3 from Air Water Healing does 3,000 square feet of purification. It eliminates dust, mold, viruses, and odors. But here's the part I love. They require no filters to ever be changed and virtually no maintenance. Whether you suffer from asthma, allergies, seasonal bronchitis, or just want to protect your family from the flu or even greater threats, don't wait to get your V3 from AirWaterHealing.com today. Use code Lindell for 20% off in savings and free shipping. That's promo code Lindell at AirWaterHealing.com.
Let's take a look at opening bell over on Wall Street. Numbers from MarketWatch.com. The opening numbers just came out about 17 minutes ago. The Dow Down at this hour again today, the S&P 500 also down just a little bit. The Nasdaq is up. You know, the markets are very volatile right now because of Operation Epic Fury. So we know that a lot of this downward trend is because of the conflicts going on in the Middle East, and we'll continue to watch those numbers. Looking at your news to go as you start your day, as we showed you earlier, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is giving his deposition into the Minnesota fraud accusations. Today, Walz will testify before Congress. He's there now. Billions of dollars of fraud being uncovered. Walz said he didn't know. Our cameras were there capturing him as he walked in. Let's take a listen to what he said.
Although Minnesota's programs have overwhelmingly achieved their intended purposes, they're not immune from fraud. I'll be the first to acknowledge that. But let me be clear. In Minnesota, if you defraud public programs, if you steal taxpayer money, we'll find you, we'll prosecute you, we'll convict you, and we'll throw you in jail. In this anti-fraud mission, we keep good company. Across the country, our nation's governors work hard every single day to combat fraud in their programs. But even as we confront issues similar to our sister states, the people of Minnesota have been singled out and targeted for political retribution at an unparalleled scale.
And that's Keith Ellison sitting next to him, the Attorney General, who also said he didn't know either. But whistleblowers say different. They tell a different story. We also have video just in from James Comer. Our cameras were also there capturing him as he walked into the deposition. Let's see what Comer previews for today's testimony.
Hey, good morning, Chang. Appreciate y'all being here. I think what you're going to see is there was a lot of work put into this hearing. This isn't just your typical hearing where you invite two witnesses to show up and you start a fishing expedition. We have done 9 transcribed interviews with the whistleblowers. We've also interviewed an additional 30. So we've gotten a pretty good feel of the type and level of fraud that we've seen in Minnesota. Our investigation was to determine whether or not Governor Walz and Secretary Ellison knew about the fraud. So that's what this hearing is going to be about today, to answer that question, whether or not Governor Walz and Secretary Ellison knew about the fraud.
Did they know? Again, that's the million-dollar question. We'll hope to find out today. It's sure to be heated during today's deposition. You can find coverage on LINDELLTV. Again, our Allison Steinberg is there inside listening in, and she'll have all of that for you coming up later in the show. Also, we are still in a partial government shutdown because Democrats won't fund the Department of Homeland Security. Secretary Noem, she testified on the Hill saying this.
The latest Democrat-led shutdown of DHS is reckless, it's unnecessary, and it undermines the American national security, and it harms the men and women who work at DHS and their families. Despite the House passing a bipartisan, bicameral full-year DHS funding bill, it is Senate Democrats who've chosen not to fund the department and have held this department hostage. As a result, critical national security missions, including border security, immigration enforcement, aviation security, disaster response, cybersecurity, and the protection of critical infrastructure are all being strained. Our ability to provide for a safe and successful World Cup is being hindered as well. More than 100,000 dedicated DHS employees are once again being asked to work without pay for the 3rd time in just 5 months. At a time when we've produced the most secure border in history and removed nearly 3 million illegal aliens from our country, disrupting the department responsible for those gains is indefensible. I want to thank the men and women of the Department of Homeland Security for their professionalism, for their dedication, for their commitment to keeping America safe and continuing to show up and work even though they aren't being compensated for it. They've kept us safe and they have patience, and our success is only possible because of their service and sacrifices.
There is conflict going on right now in the Middle East. Sleeper cells in our homeland. We talked about that earlier. And Democrats won't fund Homeland Security. It's almost like they love crime. They love open borders. They love putting the good guys and making them out to be the bad guys. And so now not giving them paychecks every day. But Secretary Noem and the Trump administration are working hard to get them funded and opening up the government once again. Also today, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt will hold a weekly briefing. Our Kara Castronova will be there this afternoon. We'll also have updates there from inside the White House. So it's a busy day in Washington, D.C. Make sure you are tuned in to LINDELLTV.com and also the Lindell TV app. You can find all coverage right there from your TV and also from your phone. As we start to close out today, I want to remind you, a lot of people right now are doing some spring cleaning. We're now in March. And so if you are throwing out the old, it's time to bring in the new, and you can do so with MyPillow.com. MyPillow.com, a lot of big sales going on right now. You have the mattress and topper sale. The Rev 7, I want to take a look at that. The Rev 7 is a huge hit on MyPillow. I get rave reviews about Rev 7 all the time. This is an energy drink that doesn't give you the jitters like a lot of other energy drinks may give you. You just feel like you're ready to start the day when you have a sip of Rev 7. So you can go online right now to MyPillow.com, order yourself, try it out, Rev 7, and type in the promo code Vanessa. And that way you can save extra savings on your energy drink. But people love it. I love it. Go ahead and give it a try if you haven't done so already. That's Rev 7. Going back to MyPillow.com, you can see all of the sales going on still. Bedding, bath products, kitchen products, even products for little Fido. I had a friend the other day send me a picture of his dog who was sleeping on a MyPillow dog bed. So the dogs even love. There's Fido right there. Dog beds on sale. If you type in the promo code Vanessa, they love it. So make sure, again, as you're doing some spring cleaning, that you go shop on MyPillow.com. And I was actually wearing the slippers this morning before I headed into work. I don't want to forget about MyStore.com as well. These are great entrepreneurs with USA products, handpicked by Mike Lindell. These products are made in America. They're made by entrepreneurs who think like us, who love our country, who love our Lord, who love our military, our Constitution, all of our amendments. They fight for what's right in our country. And so Mike Lindell has approved these great entrepreneurs to be on mystore.com to sell their products. You can go ahead and give it a look as well. Same promo code applies. You can go to mystore.com, type in the promo code Vanessa for extra savings. And I'm loving how we're scrolling down right now because it's reminding me that I need to go do some shopping this week as well. There's little Fido again. You can tell I'm an animal lover. Never forget about the pets. They too want some love when you're doing some shopping this spring season. So mystore.com, mypillow.com, use the promo code Vanessa. And today we leave you in prayer, as we always do here on My Mornings. Today's Bible verse of the day comes from the book of Romans. The Bible says, "For such men are slaves, not of our Lord Christ, but of their own appetites. And their smooth and flattering speech, they deceive the hearts of the unsuspecting." And a reminder, if you're on social media, you can give me a follow, send me a message. I'm on X, Vocal, Truth Social, Instagram, and YouTube. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do that right now. There's the handle on your screen. We are there live every single day. So make sure you give us a follow. And I'd love to chat with all of you. And that'll do it for us here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a good day, America.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping. Let's face it, you can't trust Big Pharma. They've already tried to block ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and raise prices on everything from antibiotics to your daily meds. Well, there's good news. All Family Pharmacy is standing up for medical freedom and helping people get the treatments they actually want. My family and I use them all the time. They made it easy and affordable without the runaround. While other pharmacies are jacking up prices, they've actually dropped theirs. Ivermectin now starts at just $2 a capsule. Use my promo code LINDELLTV, you get an extra 10% off of that. You need ivermectin, antibiotics, or methylene blue, you name it, they've got it. They make it simple. You fill out a short online form, a licensed doctor reviews it, and your meds ship fast right to your front door. If you want to be prepared and have your medications on hand, this is your new pharmacy. Visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code LINDELL10 saves you even more. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Promo code LINDELL10. If you want to drop extra pounds, boost energy levels, and reduce swelling in your legs and feet, then this message is for you. Pure Health Research is on a mission to make America healthy again. And two of their best-selling health supplements are leading the way. First is Liver Health Formula. Over 100 million Americans have a sluggish liver that's riddled with fatty deposits. This can kill your metabolism, pile on the pounds, and make you feel tired. Liver Health Formula takes care of that. It supports thriving liver health with special nutrients like artichoke extract and milk thistle. This is one of the easiest ways to slim down and revitalize your energy levels. Next is lymph system support. If you struggle with fluid buildup or swelling in your legs, ankles, and feet, this is for you. The natural ingredients in lymph system support help gently flush away extra fluid and toxins out of your body. And right now, for a limited time, you get 35% off Liver Health Formula and Lymph System Support, along with 50 plus other health supplements that Pure Health Research has to offer. So head over to purehealthresearch.com and use promo code Lindell at checkout. That's purehealthresearch.com, promo code Lindell to save 35% on your order today.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your